You know, they say blood is thicker than water. But what happens when your own blood turn their back on you? I guess I gotta watch and find out. My name is Damian Santos, and in about a few hours from now, I'll be making my college decision. So while we wait, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my backstory. Now this one is unlike any of the other ones y'all have heard. Let's start from the top. Deshaun Hughes, despite him growing up in the trenches, he was always looked at as a great guy. Focused on himself and looking for a way to escape the hood, he began to play football. And quick enough, he became the best quarterback in high school and in college. And eventually, that would lead to him getting drafted to the Carolina Panthers. Man, everything is looking good for him. Because while he was in Carolina is when he met Yolanda Santos. And they hit it off pretty quick. They started dating for a while. And after around 2 years, they decided to go on and make it official. Now, Deshaun is at an all-time high right now, as y'all could probably guess. And his blessings wasn't over yet, because then he would go on to have his firstborn son, and his name was Jalen Hughes. And Deshaun will continue to dominate the league, and a few seasons later is when he would have his second-born son. A happy life and a happy family. But see, things wouldn't stay the same for too long, because Deshaun would end up having a devastating injury. And after a while, he tried to make his way back to the field, but he just wasn't the same, which led to him getting traded around the league, and that put him in a deep depression. So he was going through a lot at this time, and after being traded to LA, they decided to release him. So with him having a lot on his mind and trying to make sense of it all, he started drinking way more than usual. Once he picked up the bottle, everything started going downhill. And that happy relationship he once had quickly turned toxic. I mean, it seemed like every time they made eye contact, it was something to argue about. But Yolanda ain't play that. And after she had enough, they decided to go their separate ways, with Deshaun keeping the oldest son and she took the youngest son with her, which was me. Now fast forward. See, I wasn't the worst, but I definitely wasn't the best kid growing up. And looking for attention, I definitely turned it up a notch when I hit middle school and high school. I mean, I was spending more time in the principal's office than in class. And they made sure my mom heard about it. She was getting called up to the school every other day. And she felt like the problem was that I needed a man figure in my life. So at the start of my sophomore year, she sent me to California to go stay with my dad for a while. Now, how long is a while? I wasn't even sure. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually wasn't even too mad about it. Cause I was thinking, I mean, my pops is rich. I'll be living in a mansion. He probably gonna give me an allowance. And my brother stay with my dad, so I'm thinking we gonna create a bond. But I don't know how fast that's gonna happen, cause my brother is Hollywood. And I'm talking like celebrity status. I mean, bro can't even shop in public without his security being with him. And to think, he only in high school and this is how he living. He already got all the followers in the fan base. I mean, everybody was showing him mad support and love, especially in the city. Man, they had bro face on the billboards and everything. He was basically the golden boy for California. Everybody wanted to see him succeed, and he was doing just that. He was ranked #1 in the nation, hadn't lost a single game since he started high school football, and I played quarterback too, but I was nowhere near his talent. Bro was out there throwing 70-yard dot, picking apart any defense with ease. And don't get it twisted, he was a dual threat quarterback with the speed to take off for big games. He was simply just better than all his competition. And I ain't gonna lie, man, he was living my dream. So of course I thought when I moved to my dad's house, after knowing that I played quarterback too, I thought he was gonna hook me up with the best trainers and get me to be at my brother's level. But man, I had it all wrong. I quickly realized that my pops only cared about Jalen. Whole time I was living with them, it was like I wasn't even there for real. I told my dad I wanted to be a star quarterback too, but he wasn't really trying to hear it. His only focus was my brother and making sure that he good. So I can be honest and say I did get a little jealous. I understand my brother was a superstar in high school, but I wanted my pops to treat me like a son too. But sadly, I was the last person on his mind. Feeling like an outsider in your own family is the worst feeling. I ain't gonna lie, I felt like my dad was trying to rub it in. Cause on Jalen's birthday, my dad got him a nice Benz. And when it was my birthday, he didn't even bother to tell me happy birthday. So I think y'all understand the feeling I had living with my pops. And then it came time for my brother to make his college commitment. And out of all the D1 offers he had, he chose to go to UCLA. Now I told y'all earlier that he's California's golden boy. So you can only imagine how excited they were when they got this news. But the person that was even more excited was my dad. He even threw a little party for him. Everybody took turns telling Jalen how proud of him they are and congratulated him on his success. And I know I'm wrong for this because that's my blood brother and everything, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I had a little bit of envy in my heart. Mainly it's because he getting all the recognition in the world and nobody even knows I play football. So I'm at an all-time low and Jalen is at an all-time high. But little did we both know, all that would take a drastic turn. See, him and my dad would argue often, and one night they ended up getting into it. Jalen felt like he needed some space, so he took a late night drive, and with a lot on his mind, he was barely paying attention. Semi-truck came out of nowhere, and in the blink of an eye, Jalen got in a horrible wreck. Sitting next to my dad, neither of us have said a word to each other. We just waiting on the doctor to let us know what's going on.
So we do have him stable now. But some very saddening news. Jalen is paralyzed from the waist down with a slim to no chance of him walking again. Now, there are procedures we could do to give him the best outcome possible. But as of right now, he needs to rest.
So what now, huh? Jalen is depressed. Told him he just need to walk it off. Pops is depressed all over again. Just a drunk mess. This whole family is a mess right now. We don't know where to pivot to. We just all going through it. But a lot of that would change the night me and Jalen had a bit of a talk, I guess you could say. Hey, bro, Dad said you ain't been eating like you supposed to, so this for you.
Bet. Just set it on my bed.
Hey, bro, I know it's hard on you and everything, but you ain't got to stay in your room all day. It'll probably help if you got out and did something, you know? I mean, it's a bad situation that you in, but you got to look on the bright side. At least you still here.
I wish, little bro, but it ain't that simple. I know you used to having it easy, but some things take longer to bounce back from.
Hey, hold up. So you think I got it easy? So you mean to tell me while your face is plastered on every billboard in the city signing $1 million contracts, I got it easy? You grew up in a mansion and everybody love you, but you think I got it easy. Dad actually treats you like a son and he bought you an $80,000 car, but you think I ain't been through nothing? I'm trying the best I can to get recognized by any school at this point, but it's hard for me because I don't have NFL trainers like you do. And every year that I've played football, I made sure to send Dad a schedule, but he hasn't been to a single game. But he's been in every single one of yours. Man, I wish I had your life. So if you think I got it easy, you need to take a good long look in the mirror.
Everything I got that came from football means nothing to me because I didn't want this life. You were able to be a kid and have friends to hang out with growing up. You think I wanted to be 9 or 10 years old, waking up at 5 a.m. to go train until school? And when school ended, I was right back training until it was time to sleep. I've been repeating that same process year after year. Dad doesn't treat me like a son. I'm just his way of getting back everything he lost. He hasn't told you, but Dad owes more money than he makes. And if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't even be in this mansion you talking about. I understand how it looks from the outside looking in, but now that you know the real, trust me, you don't want my life. And honestly, in a weird way, me being paralyzed felt like more of a relief than anything. Come on, bro, get dressed. You want to be the best in the nation, right?
And from that day forward, Jalen made it his mission to make sure I was ready for my senior year and whatever else my future holds. He took me under his wing and helped me with everything, such as my speed, conditioning, losing weight, gaining some muscle. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this wasn't an easy task for him because I started off at basically ground zero. I mean, look at the weight I started out with. I was only throwing 10s on each side, but he stuck with me every step of the way, and each day I could see progression. And I gotta give a little round of applause to myself for really honing in and doing everything it took. Cause man, it was not easy waking up at 5 a.m. every morning and training my whole summer. But I could honestly say it was definitely all worth it. I feel myself becoming a better quarterback from day one. Y'all are only seeing me work on my body, but we probably spent more time on the field, honestly. He taught me how to read the defense, work on my mechanics, and just everything. By the time my senior season rolled around, it was clear to see I made a full 180. Anybody could tell I had been training the whole summer, so that work definitely paid off. And it was probably pretty obvious to see who I've been training with, because I was playing like an exact copy of my brother. I had his full game down. Throwing across my body, no problem. We still gonna throw a dot. Dual threat QB checked off the list. I had the speed down, everything, the juke moves, and I was really feeling like him. I don't know if I can throw 70 yards down the field yet, but I was still throwing up some nice bombs, doing anything it took to get my team to win. But somehow, I still went unranked. But it didn't even matter, man. I just felt great to be able to execute on this field, and I actually did get a couple D1 offers. And that brings us to now, the present day. I know exactly which school I'm gonna go to, and much like my brother, I decided to stay home too. I didn't have the resume to make it to UCLA, but I did commit to San Jose State University. And I couldn't thank my brother enough for helping me get to this point, but he let me know before I started college that he had a gift for me. Man, he had already done enough for me, but still went out of his way to buy me a Dodge Charger. Man, as y'all can see, I can't even tell y'all how I was feeling. I was just overly joyful and thankful, not just for the car, but for everything. We getting ready to play our first game of the season. I'm gonna go out there and show my brother that everything he taught me is not gonna go to waste. Game number 1 of the season, we up against an FCS school. Looking to start this season off right, man. 3rd and 6 on that first drive. Receiver got a comeback route. I'm completing it for that first down. Looking to get into the end zone early. I set my feet and throw a back corner dot for the first touchdown pass of my college career. Catch my receiver open in the front of the end zone and throw another dot for my second touchdown. Seeing that pocket collapse quick, I'm escaping and I see some daylight for a second there. Cut inside, but I end up fumbling on the tackle, making the first big mistake of my season. Having trouble finding somebody open, I'm rolling out to the left. I see my receiver in the corner, running back to the ball. I deliver a pass to him and we get another touchdown. Still can't believe it, y'all, but we right there at the 1-yard line and I throw a pick 6. Yeah, that's right, not just no regular interception. Nah, he took that one all the way back to the crib. But it's all good, man, because we still came out on top and got that win with the score being 21-16. Despite that fumble and that pick 6, I had a good game too. 250 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Second game of the season, we up against the Air Force. Just like last game, first drive, I'm not going to ease into it, throwing a bomb downfield, and he going to complete it for a huge gain. Late in the first quarter, we going to put the first points on the board, catching my receiver across the middle, and he is not going to slow down on his way to the end zone. Rolling out to the right, sitting in there and being patient, and still throwing an accurate ball while being hit, getting us down that field. That pressure gonna get to me quick. Still looking for a spot to throw it to, but I decided to take it myself. That was a good decision, getting myself into the end zone, putting us up 2 touchdowns. My receiver got to step on the defense, so I'm going to give it to him on his slant. And they cannot catch up with him somehow. He make his way all the way down the sideline, taking off to the 40, 30, 20, 10, and getting into that end zone. We're going to very easily get a blowout win against the Air Force with the score being 35-14. Your boy had another decent showing with 332 passing yards for 4 touchdowns. Crazy. Kennesaw State, come get this work. My first pass of the game, I'm stepping up in the pocket and delivering it to my receiver on the slant. He going to take this up for a big game. 15 seconds left in the first. I'm having trouble catching somebody downfield, so I resort to one of the mini skills my brother taught me and take off and pick up some good yardage on feet. A few plays later, I'm going to catch my receiver open in the end zone for my first passing touchdown of the game, putting us up 2 touchdowns against Kennesaw State. Scrambling out to the left, keeping my eyes glued downfield, I deliver another dot. He going to take this up and almost get into that end zone, but stop a little bit short. Off the handoff, the halfback going to do the rest, getting us into that end zone. So we going to take another dub with the score being 28-7. Putting in some real work against these teams. And I would end the game with 204 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Going up against the best team we've played so far, Washington State, this is going to be a good one. Washington goes up 7, and in our second drive, I'm going to throw a dot down the middle. And I'm going to hit my tight end on a comeback route, getting us close to that end zone. Halfback going to do the rest, tying the game up for us. I can really get loose, man. Y'all better stop playing with me. Come here, Nick. Taking off for a big scramble, getting that first down and more. Right there in the red zone, got to make this one count. Rolling out to the right and throwing a laser for a 6. Third quarter, we up 17-7. Looking like this is going to be an easy game as I'm unleashing another dot to my receiver down the field for a big game. And quick enough, we're going to add on to that lead with the read option. Up 24-7, but as I'm dropping back, I'm going to give them extra points because they're going to get a safety. Washington now make the score 16-24. As I'm bending the corner trying to get around the edge, I pick up a decent game. 3rd and 4, they got a free runner coming right at me, and they bring me down for the sack, forcing us to punt it off. Before you know it, they push it to overtime, and they got the lead in overtime. We got a score. Y'all see me completing a big pass down the middle. Very next play, I'm dropping back and throwing to the left for a tutty. Top ball game 31-31. I'm going to throw a dot to the corner. That was an absolute beam right there. We get the lead. And on top of that, the receiver going to get us that 2-point conversion on a jet sweep. Then we go into triple overtime. But I got us, man, throwing a dot to the end zone for that 2-point conversion. Hand it off to the halfback. He gonna get us another 2-point conversion. This game just keep going. So in a close game that really shouldn't have been close because we had a decent lead, final score ended up being 43-41. I finished this game with 264 yards for 3 touchdowns. Game number 5 of the season, we up against the Nevada Wolfpack. Let's get it. We get down that field pretty quick and I see my receiver open in front of the end zone. I'm gonna deliver it to him and he gonna get us in there for 6. Having some trouble finding the open receiver, I'm rolling out to the right and release a beam downfield at the last second for a big completion. 2nd and 10, and by the end of this, I'm gonna have to do a compilation video where I break ankles, man, because I was cooking. Halfback gonna get us in there and put us up 2 touchdowns. Y'all can tell I'm really starting to get comfortable in figuring out college football as I roll out to the right and deliver a bomb downfield to an open receiver in the middle. Score is now 14-16. Pay attention to the accuracy though. Throwing on the run all the way down to the end zone corner for a nice touchdown. We would later end up running out the clock and the final score was 29-14, taking our 5th dub in a row, feeling unstoppable. I finished this game with 238 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Next up, man, we got Colorado State, game number 6. My very first pass of the game, I'm rolling out to the left, throwing on the run. It don't matter because we still throw dots. Colorado State leaving the middle wide open, and that's easy for me to see, delivering to a wide open receiver downfield. Running with my receiver across the end zone, I'm going to throw it as soon as he get a step, and he do for a touchdown. We went scoreless for a while, but finally late in the 3rd, I would deliver a dot to my receiver on a comeback, adding on to that lead. We take that win against Colorado State with the score being 17-7. It was a low-scoring game, but we still did our thing. I finished this one with only 168 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. 7th game of the season, man. We up against Wyoming. Both teams having trouble scoring, man. It's now in the 2nd quarter, coming back from the 2-minute warning, and neither of us have scored. But I'm trying to change that right here, taking off for a huge run, but I fumble, but luckily it goes out of bounds. 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. The score is now 3-0, and y'all see the accuracy, throwing a bullet downfield for a touchdown. Halfback said it's his time to shine, and he gonna take it in for 6 easily. Another low-scoring game, and we nail out the clock to get that win against Wyoming with the score being 7-23. Still undefeated, 7 games in. A slow game for me with 181 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Next game of the season, we got Fresno State. Still undefeated, looking to keep it that way. First possession of the game, already putting my foot on the gas, rolling out to the right and delivering a bomb right in his breadbasket for a big game. Late in the 1st quarter, 30 seconds left, dropping back, scanning the field, and delivering another air raid. Y'all let me know in the comments, am I tripping or is the accuracy not going crazy? Looking a lot like my brother with this accuracy, man. I'm telling you, I'm throwing straight bullets. You see, the problem ain't me cutting up the defense with my run game, but the problem is I cannot hold on to the rock for nothing. Another fumble, my 3rd of the season. It's all good because we still take the dub in this rivalry game with the score being 27-17. Now finish this one with 283 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Next up, we got Oregon State, man. Let's do it. Coach finally recognized my cutting ability, and he gonna call a QB draw, where I take another set of ankles and get that 1st down and much more. Waiting for my receiver to get a step right there in front of the end zone, I'm gonna deliver a pass to him wide open for a 1st and goal. Somehow we only get 3 on that drive, and my O-line cannot stop Oregon State defense. Throwing with crazy accuracy again on the 3rd and 10, getting us that 1st down. 3rd quarter, and the score is still 3-0, and I can't get nothing going. Finally, our halfback is able to get us our 1st touchdown of the game, coming late in the 3rd quarter. Trying to put them down 2 touchdowns. Coach want to go for that 2-point conversion, and y'all know that's good money. Game is now 14-7, but the halfback gonna change that, getting into the end zone again. And we remain undefeated, adding another win to the total with the score being 21-7. I threw for 173 yards, but no touchdowns this time. Going up against easily the best team we'll probably play for the rest of the season, we got Boise State. This is definitely going to be a more tactical game. As y'all can see, I'm going with the underneath route on the 2nd and 8 to get us that 1st down. And very early, we started to figure out that they have a hard time stopping the run. 3rd and 10, and now that I look at it, I see I had some open receivers, but I decided to take off myself, which wasn't a bad option. Give me them ankles, and I'm dragged down past the 30. Much like Oregon State, they getting through my offensive line pretty easily, but I'm tracking my receiver down the field and throw a dot down the sideline. 2nd and 7, and I waste no time taking off for that scramble again, snatching some more ankles and picking up that 1st down. Going back to that run game in the red zone, and it works to perfection. Down in the red zone again at a 2nd and goal, I see an open lane, and I'm going to take that right into the end zone. Down at the 20, I see my slot receiver open. I'm going to deliver it his way, and nobody's stopping him as he makes his way into the end zone for another touchdown. So in the end, we're able to take the dub against Boise State with the score being 17-27. And by winning this game, we could possibly be ranked. I'll finish this game with 210 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Game number 11 of the season, and we still undefeated, man. Y'all got to keep that in your mind. I know I'm not playing heavy competition, but I'm still a freshman quarterback doing this. UNLV puts up 10 points before we can even score. But they're going to leave a wide open gap, and you know I'm going to take that every time and slide to avoid the contact. We get hit with a penalty, putting us at a 2nd and 23, but I see open space again, so I'm going to take that. And this time I ain't looking to slide. I'm trying to get that 1st down, and I dive and get it. And hurry up offense, trying to score before halftime. My halfback will do just that, finally putting us on the board. 3rd quarter, and I'm looking downfield trying to take this lead. I deliver a dot right in the basket. And I'm telling you, man, we got a baby Saquon on our team. He gonna break at least one every game. Scrambling out to the left to let the play develop. I'm gonna throw a dime downfield. Receiver gonna bring that one in and take it up for some extra yards before being brought down. Like, just look at bro. Every time you get the ball in his hands, you know he gonna do something with it, scoring another touchdown. So we keep that win streak going with the score being 24-16. Now I finished this one with 217 yards and 0 touchdowns. Game number 12, we up against Stanford, now ranked number 19 with an undefeated record of 11-0. Y'all not gonna believe it, but it wasn't until the 3rd quarter that we would score our 1st touchdown off a nice accurate ball, giving us 6. And it wasn't much to show at all in that game. It was a low-scoring game with the score being 13-10, but we got the dub. Now I finished this one with 185 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Conference championship game, and we back at it with Boise State. They're ranked number 23, and we're now ranked number 16. Before you know it, we facing a 3rd and 1, and I'm having trouble finding the open receiver, and that pass rush is going to get to me for a huge sack. They go up 7, and on a 2nd and 10, I'm going to catch my receiver across the middle. They're going to leave an open gap, and I'm going to take that every time, keeping my feet moving for a gain of 10. Halfback going to do the rest, getting us into that end zone. Boise State go up 10-7, but every time they play me, they have trouble stopping the run, and I take off for a huge scramble, running like I never have before, ducking and dodging all the defense and making my way to the end zone for a huge touchdown, man. I can already tell that's going to be on TikTok, ESPN, wherever it is, you name it.
This is such a big-time play by this quarterback, and it's every defensive quarterback.
Late in the 2nd quarter, trying to get a score before the half, I'm going to deliver a bomb downfield to an open receiver. But all that momentum is killed, man. You cannot make a mistake like this against a defense like Boise State. And I throw a pick 6 right before the half, man. I try to catch up to him, but I could not get there.
Inside the 10.
It's 4th quarter, and it's starting to look like wraps for us, man. We only got 14 to their 31. I see I'm trying to make something shake, but it's not going to happen. 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I'm going to drop back and spot my receiver with a step and deliver a beautiful ball downfield for that touchdown. But it's too little too late, man. We lose our 1st game of the season in the conference championship, with the final score being 31-21. Boise State got their revenge. But I will finish this game with 165 yards and a touchdown. After that game, we will be invited to the New Mexico Bowl against Western Kentucky. Here we are, man. Last game of the season, only losing 1 game this season, all led by the freshman quarterback, and we here in a bowl game. First pass of the game goes as planned, throwing a laser to my receiver on the sideline. Facing the 3rd and 18, pushing up in the pocket, scrambling out to the right before catching my receiver coming back to the ball, putting us at a 1st and goal. And I would do the rest on feet, taking it in myself to the end zone for 6.
And that's why this offense is so hard to stop, guys.
They leaving a gap open in the pocket. I'm going to take off on feet again. Got to work on their tackling because they cannot bring me down, and I pick up a huge gain.
They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run.
Easy pass right down the seam for a touchdown.
And he will score. Touchdown, San Jose State.
Rolling out to the right, looking for an open receiver, and I catch one right downfield wide open.
He fires it out to the right. Yeah.
Western Kentucky cannot contain the run game as I take off for another big scramble.
Good.
Game tied at 14. I'm going to take it in myself again.
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, San Jose State. And these guys just...
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Y'all see that wide open lane? I'm going to take that, of course.
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Spartan.
Delivering a bomb downfield to my receiver coming across the right. He's going to take this up for a huge gain.
And they were
Already got 3 touchdowns on the ground. You know I got to put one in the air for another tutty.
And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Throwing out Western Kentucky, and we're going to keep it going, man. Throwing the dot to my receiver on an out route for another touchdown. Last game of the season, we go out with a bang with the score being 49-24, completely whooping them boys. And I also went out with a good game. With 239 passing yards for 6 touchdowns total, that's crazy. But that right there is the whole season, man. As y'all can clearly see, my brother definitely helped me out big time. Only losing 1 game my freshman season, but I did not get any awards this season. So y'all know what that means, man. I need more exposure, so I'm probably gonna have to jump into that transfer portal. Let me know where y'all think I should go. But in the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I really appreciate y'all. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Money, huddle, gotta, cuddle, ladder, order, dollars, quarters, wrist, water, reach, water, bitch, on wanna, come on, hunter, hey, I'm a stunner.